Hey, it's Jacqueline from the CTS Sports Room, coming to you from my car. Because it's Christmas time, and my house is full of people, and I told them I was going grocery shopping, but really, I just needed a break. So I downloaded this new app that we just partnered with. It's SuperDraft Pro. It is the future of fantasy sports. And you can play for cash, prizes, and experiences that money can't buy. Like the peace and quiet I'm getting right now. You can play for free, or you can get their non-gambling subscription. Either way, you can still win cash and prizes. If you want more information, my friend Kyle Murray is going to tell you about it.
It's not easy being the fastest quarterback you've never seen. I'll be right back. There's no quicker way to get into DFS. Play Super Draft today and see for yourself.
SuperDraft Pro and Caesars Entertainment are bringing you the future of fantasy sports. So, if you want to play like a champion or need a break from the family, download SuperDraft Pro today. Play like a champion. Information will be in the link below.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live and we are recovered. Tiger, how you feeling, man?
I'm not gonna lie, I'm not the best. It's this is not a fun time, as you well know, I'm sure. It's not fun just trying to make do here with this crap.
Man, that's something. By the way, last week I was not on rolling with a Tide or 3rd and 3. Of course, you would think that my colleagues will say, "Hey, Joey, get better." No, they have to make everything a conspiracy. Oh, Joey, because Georgia beat Alabama in the national championship. No, Joey wasn't. Look, congratulations to the Georgia Bulldog fans. And I say that to the fans because I think Georgia Bulldog fans are the best. They've been angry for Alabama football for a very long time. I understand it. If I was a Georgia Bulldog fan, I'd be angry at Alabama too for being so dominant. But you know what? Georgia Bulldogs fans deserve 42 years, 41 years, or whatever, how many years. They finally made it to the national championship mountain. And not only did they make it to the mountain, they freaking took over the mountain. So we're gonna relive some of that. Also, we're gonna talk about NFL playoffs. We're gonna talk about the Dak Prescott thing. We also got USA Today's Dan Wolken coming on the show. He's coming back. No Clemson time. It's not gonna be no fight this time. Maybe Clagger get a fight with him. I don't know, but I'm gonna keep my mouth shut.
I like Dan Wolken.
But let's talk about it, man. We both are right now. I'm getting over COVID. You just now got it. Tell the people what you're going through, man.
Oh man, it's hard to even explain. It's like the worst part is I have absolutely zero energy. Joey called me earlier today and he's like asked me if I could be on 3rd and 3. I'm like, well, yeah, I can be on, but I'm gonna have to sleep for at least 2 more hours to even have the energy to get out of bed. So, it's just look for lack of energy and it's like the they say it's like the flu. It's like the flu, but multiply that times 100, and that's what COVID is.
Yeah, whoever says this is a common cold is lying to you. I don't know how it affects everybody else. Now, my daughter has it. She was sick for a day, and when she's still in quarantine, but she's fine. Like my wife has it. She's kind of sick right now. She's quarantined. And I don't know, we already got a chat in the room. Let's see what's going on. It's my man, Spencer. Spencer, Joey, you're breaking up badly. Well, I have a cheap laptop, so I don't know what to tell you. I had a great laptop, and my wife destroyed it, so now I got this cheap one. So if I'm breaking up, if my audio is going out, I apologize. Blame my wife. So that's all I got to say about that.
So
But go ahead, Clacker.
I will say now, Joey, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm still not too tired to throw the heat back at you. I still think that the Alabama. I mean, I understand you've got COVID and it's awful. I'll agree with you on that. I still think Alabama losing kind of had a little bit to do with you not being on the show last week, especially on Rolling with the Tide. I think that had a little bit to do with it. And I can't say I blame you. I was, as y'all remember from the group message, I was very pissed after that game. And I have to disagree. Georgia fan base is not. I mean, congratulations to them and all, but they're not a fan base that I don't like the fan base. I mean, when you have a fan base that just sits there and barks at you, yeah, screw that. I mean,
I mean,
congratulations to Kirby Smart.
I've never met a bad. I never met a bad Georgia fan. To be honest with you. I mean, I met dicks that are Georgia fans. Don't get me wrong, but I never met like nobody's ever really been like a dick towards me. They may have said something about Alabama, but like I said, when Alabama has done stuff that no other college football team has ever done, and of course you're gonna be mad, especially when Tua throws to damn, what's his name? The guy who plays the Eagles. What's his name?
Devontae Smith.
Yeah, Devontae Smith for a touchdown, and your backup court. I mean, come on, stuff like that. And then the time in 2012, was it 2012, 2014 when it was like at the
2012 when
line?
they fell down at the 2 yard line. Mark Riggs.
Come on,
Mark
man.
Riggs did not have the best of play calling.
You can get. You think deserve to be a little upset. But you know, a lot of people. I guess for me, is a lot of people that I know that are Georgia fans has been waiting a very long time for a national championship, and they got it. I'm so glad that they got it, and congratulations. Joey's balls are bigger than that. He has shown he can take it as much as he's given it. That's right, and Spencer. By the way, Spencer, I hope you're spreading the word, Spencer. Thank you for being a family member to the CTS, man. We love you. Hell, we're gonna have to have him on the show. I ain't lying either. That's not no BS. Spencer, you come on all the time, but you got to at least come on, at least talk to us for in person.
Yeah,
but
agreed.
I want to go ahead and address your rumor, if you will. You was talking about me not coming on Tuesday. Let me tell you what happened Tuesday. I was at work. I literally called. I don't get off till 8:00 in the morning, and I literally called my boss, woke her up, and told her, "said Look, I can't do this no more. I've been feeling like crap all night long. I can't do it. Can you come get somebody to replace me?" I get home, and it was just like somebody just hit me in the head with a baseball bat, and I was out for the count till Sunday. It was like, I mean, it got bad. It was everything that you can think about happening to me happened. Only thing that didn't happen to me was the loss of breath. I didn't lose no air or anything like that. I was finding that, but I had sinus problems. I was throwing up. I did not want to stand up. I wanted to sleep. It beat the crap out of me. And you know, thank you to my lovely wife who took care of me. Thank you to my father who made me chicken noodle soup, but ran as soon as he saw me, he took off running. Yeah. So with that said, let's get down to business, man. That Prescott got into he's got in some little trouble with some newspaper people, and I quote. All right, let's go ahead and tell Crocker. You tell everybody what happened first about the game and everything, and then I'll say the quote.
Most people saw it, but I know Joey was sick, and I'm surprised I saw it because I was having a hard time staying awake.
Yeah.
So
Clacker just let the nail out the the secret out. No, I did not watch no football this weekend. No, I did
I'm
not
not.
watch any sports.
I'm not gonna blame you on that one, Joey.
I'm literally,
Uh,
my body is feeling like I'm still sore. So yeah, I'm not feeling. No, I did not watch any football games. I'm not gonna lie
yeah,
to y'all guys.
I'm not gonna. Uh, fault you for that because I understand how you felt. Anyway, so if you were like Joey and didn't see, so Cowboys Dak struggled all game, had 2 interceptions, I believe, and so the Cowboys had the ball uh, down 6 with the ball back with the ball. They were driving and 14 seconds to go. And again, in the NFL, you don't get your timeouts. Sorry, in the NFL, they had no timeouts. You don't get a time to stop. The clock does not stop for a first down. 14 seconds to go. Dak decides to run it up the middle. He gets tackled with about 8 seconds to go and was not able to get up and get the ball spiked in time to get one more play off, resulting in the game being over. He lost about a second, maybe a second and a half, because the ref got in his way. But in the end, there's no way you can fault the refs for that, because I mean the play call was atrocious. The fact that you're running the ball up the middle with 8 seconds, and there's only 8 seconds to go, that to me was a complete buffoonery on his part and on the coaching staff's part. And then he had some interesting quotes in the post game, blaming the officials for it.
Yeah, I'm gonna get to that. Spencer just put, are you excited as? Oh, by the way, if you're watching, if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, please subscribe. If you haven't, follow us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter. Also, if you're listening to us on podcasts, if you hear me as saying, comments and everything, that's from people because we doing this stuff live. So if you can't watch us live, you can listen to us on podcast form. But Spencer put, are you excited as the returning Bama team this year? Yes, we are. I do believe. I said it here from the get-go. I said it in April of 2021 that Alabama was going to win the national championship. I came close to being right. I thought we were going to pull it off, but we did, and so be it. Congratulations to Georgia. But Dak Prescott, the fans felt the same way as us. I guess that's why the refs took off and got out of there so fast. I think everybody is upset with the way this thing played out. I credit to them. Well, you know what? I do remember 2004 Pistons and Pacers. Fans can go a little too far, and
Are we talking about Malice at the Palace?
Yes, I was watching that game live.
Saying I was 9 years old and saw that live.
Yeah, I was already a grown man living on my own. I'm hanging out with a bunch of kids. But no, it was I saw a couple of YouTube clips of what happened, and yeah, fans. I'm not gonna sit there and look. I can be passionate about football. I'm passionate about my Atlanta Falcons. I'm passionate about Alabama football. But fans, you need to have a little bit of class. You wouldn't want somebody to come to your job and throw something at you because you did a bad job. But I mean, the ref messed up. He shouldn't have been in that position. I get it. It happens. I guess I'm not emotionally attached to it because I'm not a Cowboys fan. Neither was a 49ers fan. I didn't give a damn. But if this happened to the Falcons, and trust me, as a Falcons fan, Lord knows in the last 10 years, I wanted to throw the TV out of the freaking window.
Joey, how did you react to the Super Bowl? Joey, how did you react to that Super Bowl that they lost?
We don't talk about that here. You talk about 1998.
Joey, I'm talking about the one that lost 4 years ago to the Patriots.
We don't talk about that here. We don't talk about that here. Why are you bringing up stuff that is not important? The refs did all they could, even trying to jump over the O lineman to set the ball. He didn't want the game to end that way. I agree, Spencer. I agree.
Exactly. It's on coaching. That's who I blame it on. You don't want to. Well, no, I blame it on Dak. I'm not a fan of Dak. Sorry,
Wait, do you think Dak is a? what you call it, a franchise quarterback?
No, good. No, not at all.
Why do you believe I will take Dak Prescott on my team any day of the week? It's like
So
people
you're
saying that
telling
about
me.
Cam Newton. It's like I'm not understanding. I mean, I'll take Dak and Cam on my team any day.
Okay, so you'll
First
take a
round draft
quarterback
picks.
who went like. Okay, Joey. So you'll take a who? Who cares if they're a first round draft pick?
No,
Who
I
cares?
didn't mean the first round draft picks. I mean that, like if I was drafting, if I was, you know what I mean. I was talking
Okay.
about if I was drafting.
I mean,
I
yeah.
mean,
If you want to
if
take a
Cam
quarterback
Newton
who
and
was
Dak
like,
Prescott was on the board, I'm going to take him.
I mean, I can name you 10 quarterbacks I would take over both of those, but
Yeah, I mean,
I take Lamar Jackson over Dak.
yeah, now, but you know, the Cowboys are cursed. Look, you can't just blame Dak Prescott for that game. It's like Tony Romo. Everybody blame Tony Romo. It's not just Tony Romo. You got other players on the team. Why don't you blame an offensive lineman for not blocking?
Oh,
And
okay,
maybe
Cowboys
Dak
are
wouldn't have
cursed.
to
Yeah.
run the damn ball. Why do you think Michael Vick ran all the damn time for the Falcons? Because we never had an offensive line. And then all of a sudden Joey Harrington comes in and then couldn't get the ball off. Why? Because we never had an offensive line. There's like something about the Falcons and the offensive line, but that's another show for another story. But no, I think Dak Prescott is a franchise quarterback, and I think Cowboys are lucky to have him.
We'll see what Dan. Well, hopefully we'll get to ask Dan that question.
Well, Dan's definitely going to tell the truth what he thinks. But I'll take him. Let's go. Let's move up. Let's move to Clemson football for a second. What do you think Clemson football is doing right now?
Like I've said before, I don't keep up with irrelevant teams. So
Ooh,
honestly, I don't know.
like
I don't keep
Clemson.
up with irrelevant teams.
I like Clemson. I think Clemson is going to be a powerhouse
mean,
this year. You heard me here first.
they'll be
Clemson
good.
is going to be a powerhouse this year. I
it's easy to
knew
be a
Clemson,
power.
even though Clemson finished the league in 10-3. I said it. I said Clemson was not going to be a good team this year. I was sort of wrong. However, this year you're going to see a big leap in Clemson football. Also with LSU and Georgia. I think Georgia is going to have a good.
I don't think Georgia can leap anymore. Pal, they just won the championship.
I mean, Georgia's going to be happy for another 40 years.
But yeah, I don't keep up with the relevant teams, so I'm not.
Oh, okay. Well,
really sure what Clemson's going to be.
When
doing.
the Clemson a lot of Clemson fans watch this show, so when they whoop your ass, don't say shit. I don't want you to say
they
thing.
They can come at me as much as they want, but
they can come to New Jersey where you live. Anyway, let's talk about Texas A&M and Kentucky. They got a big game coming up on the Hardwood. You're a big college basketball fan. What's going on?
I'm a big college basketball fan. You're right. Kentucky is probably one of the best teams in the country. I think we're really overhyping this game, considering the fact that Texas A&M is coming off a terrible season. Kentucky is a top 5 team right now. Kentucky's going to blow them out of the water. Kentucky's going to blow them out of the water. They're going to blow them out of the water, and then they're going to go into Auburn this weekend and beat them.
Okay. Auburn's really starting to kick some butt now. Are we going back to the Chris Porter days?
No, never.
No, that was a special time for Auburn. If Dabo doesn't take advantage of the portal this year, Clemson will suck. I'm not worried about Dabo. Dabo knows what he's doing. It's going to be a lot of teams. Look, everybody count Clemson out, and Clemson, I counted Clemson out too. I was ready to speak of a name that I do not want to speak ever again. I gave him a hard time, and I told him. I said Clemson's not going to win a national championship ever again. I was wrong. I think Clemson this year is going to be a powerhouse. I think you're really going to see a big difference, and I think you're going to see a big difference in LSU, and I think Georgia's going to be another powerhouse. I think maybe maybe they have an opportunity to repeat. But then again, Alabama is not. Then it's not a lot of rebuilding that Alabama's going to do. The Heisman Trophy winning quarterbacks coming back. I mean, it's just the sky's the limit. Robinson is leaving, isn't he? He's a senior, so yeah, he's gone.
We got Trey Sanders
what
there.
can you do?
We got a heck of a running back room next year.
Well, after Dan Wolken comes on, we're going to talk about the NFL division round preview. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and talk to Mr. Wolken right now, ladies and gentlemen, from USA Today, the one and only Dan Wolken. Dan, how you doing, sir?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Good.
We're doing good. We're live and in person, ladies and gentlemen. This man right here, he's not afraid to give you his opinion. If you don't like it, do something about it. That's his motto right there. So let's get to it. You saw what happened with the Cowboys and the 49ers. What's your take on what Dak said? And do you think Dak Prescott is going to be a franchise quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys in their future?
Well, I mean, look, there's so few really, really good quarterbacks in the NFL. It seems like to me, everybody's trying to get a guy that is a franchise quarterback, and it's hard. Dak's established, I think, in the NFL in his career. He's really good, and I don't know that the Cowboys could necessarily find a guy at this point who's better. He's locked into a contract. He played really well this year. I didn't think he had a great game the other day, but that's going to happen. I didn't think it was a good play call really to have him run that QB draw at the end of the game. I just thought it was a little bit risky. I understand what they were trying to do, but in the NFL, the clock doesn't stop when you get a first down, unlike college. So that just sort of opens you up to a situation like they had. Just didn't leave themselves enough time. They didn't deserve to win the game. They didn't play well enough to win the game. So it is what it is. The Cowboys, I think, down the stretch of the season, they faded a little bit. I'm sure if they played that over again, Dak would wish he played better against the 49ers. But, hey, it is what it is.
Well, I'm one of those people. I agree that Dak Prescott is a great quarterback. I think Cowboys are lucky to have him. Do you maybe, just maybe, and maybe it's because I'm not a Cowboys fan, but do you think it's probably time for Jerry Jones to probably hang it up?
Well, I mean, there's been people who've said Jerry Jones should get out of the business of making personnel decisions and all that stuff. I mean, literally for like 15, 20 years. But that ain't going to happen. I mean, that just ain't going to happen. And I don't know. I mean, how old is Jerry at this point? I mean, he's in his 80s, right?
I believe so.
Well, I mean, the truth is, like, you're kind of past the point of no return. This is Jerry's deal. He's going to run that team. He's going to make the decisions. Obviously, his son is involved as well. But, yeah, that's his baby. And he owns the team, and he's going to keep making decisions until probably he's gone, and that's just the way it is. And by the way, that's not all that unusual. I mean, you've seen that before in the NFL, Al Davis, and it's just a different deal in the NFL, when especially these guys who've owned these teams for decades and decades, like they are the show.
Well, I mean, you talk about Al Davis. I mean, check what happened with Al Davis, at the end of his life, when Lane Kiffin gets over on you and tells you, and Lane Kiffin is actually the person that is right about a decision, and then you go on national television and say, no, Lane, you're wrong. Matter of fact, you're fired. Would you put Jerry Jones in the same category right now?
Listen, it doesn't mean you make the right decisions, okay? And we've seen that over and over again. Now, look, I'll give Jerry some credit. Like, they haven't put together bad teams. Like, these are not bad football teams.
No, I agree with
they're
that.
just not winning playoff games. You have a home playoff game, you're supposed to win. So that, and look at some of the guys they've drafted in recent years, Micah Parsons, and they've drafted some good players. So I don't necessarily want to look at this and say, Jerry Jones doesn't know what he's doing, or anything like that, or that it's Al Davis all over again, because I don't necessarily think that's true. hey, winning in the NFL is really hard. The margins are so small. This is not college football where there's a handful of programs that have all the advantages. NFL, the margins, very, very small between some of these teams.
So I was reading your tweets today, this morning when some congressman in South Carolina was calling out Nick Saban, and you kind of jumped on that. My question is, has your opinion on Nick Saban changed, like, since everything that happened today, and like, what are your thoughts on Nick Saban advocating like that? Like, what are your thoughts on him advocating like he is?
I mean, it's interesting to me because it's not something you expect from Saban. Just because I remember, 2016, day after the election, he gets up at a press conference and says, "I didn't even know there was an election going on. Or, I didn't even know it was election day. That's how much I cared about it." Like, to go from that to this, that's a pretty big leap. I think Saban. I just think, like, as he's sort of getting older, he's, I don't know what the right word is, but there's just some subtle changes in the way he approaches some things and the way he talks about some things. I thought it was very noticeable this season. There were moments where I kind of thought he was gonna, go crazy on his team, or on a reporter, or he gets asked a question at halftime, and you kind of expect him to blow a gasket, and he did not do any of that. He was like really, smiling and joking. And so I don't know. Is it because, he's 70 years old and he's softening with age and has a different perspective on things? Or is he just won enough that maybe some of this other stuff, like I can't take a stand on an unpopular issue, he just doesn't give a flip anymore? I don't know. But it's interesting to me to watch him evolve a little bit. And, I think, honestly, it's kind of interesting. Like, Saban, for a long time, people kind of maybe thought of him as like this villain of college football. And actually now I think I think people kind of like him. So it's interesting.
I love him.
So my second question on Coach Saban. Obviously nobody knows when Coach Saban's going to retire. His contract through 2028. How many more championships do you see him winning? Especially now, Kirby's gotten really good. Billy Napier could be good. The SEC is going to get better.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's hard to win a national title, but I like his chances of winning more. Next year, I think they're probably going to go into the year number one. They're bringing back a lot of really, good players. I mean, they get some guys to come back who you don't think are going to come back. DJ Dale. I mean, every year there's always a couple guys like you figure going to the NFL and they come back. So they're still recruiting at a really high level. Obviously, the competition is strong in the SEC and elsewhere. But boy, I think there's a good chance he's going to win one next year. So, if he coaches another 5 to 7 years, why wouldn't he win one or two more?
Let's go back a little bit. Let's go back last week. Alabama and Georgia. Georgia finally got over the hurdle after 41 years. They won the national championship. Do you feel that I guess you just answered my question, but do you feel that in the long term, I'm talking about like the run Saban just had, do you think Georgia is going to be up there with the LSU's? Let me rephrase that. When I mean by being up there with LSU and Alabama, I mean winning the championship. Georgia's always been a contender. What I'm saying is, you think it is going to be up there with LSU, Alabama, Florida, Ohio State, winning these national championships, or this is a one-time deal for Georgia?
Well, look, I think the way that the last 5 years in recruiting have gone for Georgia, they've really established themselves as a program that can get, a lot of 5-star players every single year, which is what Alabama had during the last decade when they were so consistently there every single year. So I do think that I don't want to sit here and say Georgia is going to win, 5 of the next 12 national championships. That's kind of a little bit unrealistic expectation to put on anybody.
Especially with LSU now.
Yeah, I mean, but I think Georgia's surpassed LSU, at least for now. LSU, we'll see what they are under Brian Kelly, but I think they've definitely surpassed LSU in terms of consistency, total program sort of stability and being able to replenish from one year to the next in terms of talent. I think it'll be interesting to see what happens with A&M. They've got a great recruiting class coming up, and they're starting to stack some classes together. But that's what Kirby's done. He's already gotten to the point where, every single year, like, you're bringing in 4 or 5, 5-star kids. And as you go through 3, 4, 5 recruiting classes of doing that, then you end up with, a roster that is either, the first, second, or third most talented in the country. And so that puts you in a pretty darn good position.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're here live with USA Today's Dan Wolken. Dan, we're going to keep you on for a couple more minutes. We know you're a busy man, and we are not only honored for you to come on and talk to with us, but we are definitely privileged. Couple more questions. NCAA March Madness is coming up. Who do you see being in the Final Four this year?
Whew. Well, it's awful early. I mean, honestly, I like the teams that were kind of there last year. I mean, you look at Baylor, look at Gonzaga, look at UCLA. Those are 3 teams that were there. Now, they're not all going to make it because it's the NCAA tournament. It's one and done. A lot of upsets happen, but like, those teams look strong. Obviously, Auburn's off to a really good start. They look very strong. Duke, they've had some COVID issues and they're kind of coming back from that, but they're clearly the best team in the ACC. And they've got a guy in Paolo Banchero who's, potentially the number 1 pick. I think they'll as they sort of get back to a normal rhythm, they'll get straightened out. So, yeah, I mean, I think your national champion probably comes from that small group of teams. But Baylor didn't play a very good game last weekend against Oklahoma State, but they're the program right now that seems to have it all going on.
Okay, so our final question is, this is one that came from one of our viewers. Do you think Jim Harbaugh goes to the NFL?
I mean, it's interesting, Harbaugh's it's kind of radio silence ever since that report came from our colleague Bruce Feldman, I guess, maybe a couple weeks ago, that Harbaugh was interested. The Raiders are going to end up going through this whole process. I mean, their season just ended. I saw something today that they might be hiring a GM. So that probably sort of, moves the window of what they're going to do for, another week. A lot of talk about Harbaugh and the Raiders, no question about it. I don't know what's going to happen. I think there's a good chance. Like, Harbaugh's one of those guys who kind of wears out his welcome a little bit. I mean, just he kind of drives everybody crazy a little bit, and maybe him being in one place for too long drives him crazy. He's just kind of one of those guys that maybe every 6 or 7 years kind of needs a fresh start. And I mean, the guy was a good NFL coach. He got to the brink of winning a Super Bowl. To get Michigan a Big Ten title, beat Ohio State, get to the playoff. If he kind of looks at that and says, hey, this is kind of the pinnacle of what we can do here, and we've achieved it. I don't know how much more ceiling there is for him at Michigan. Yeah, I mean, I could definitely see him going back to the NFL. But, it also takes 2 to tango. We'll see if there's an NFL team that really, really wants him.
Well, my final question, are you ever going to unblock Clacker from Twitter?
Block who?
Unblock Clacker.
So funny story. Funny story.
It's
back
not funny.
in
You was talking shit to Dan, and Dan put you straight. Go ahead.
No, it was funny. It's funny. I was giving you a hard time a couple of years ago because you said, what was it? I forgot what take it was against Alabama. Oh, that Vanderbilt would hold Alabama to 19 or less points.
Well, I didn't say that. I mean, Vanderbilt had started that season and were playing really good defense. I think if you look back, I know exactly what you're talking about. If you remember back that year, I don't know when that game was. That was maybe like the 4th or 5th game of the season, and the whatever Vanderbilt's first few games were like, they were playing really awesome defense, and whatever the line was, 19 points, it just seemed like a big line. Now, obviously, Alabama came in and dominated the game. I was just talking about from a betting perspective. Like, it didn't seem like that didn't seem to me like a spot where you'd want to be, giving Vanderbilt whatever it was, 19 points. But whatever. I only block people if they're like extremely like profane and
Clacker.
I dare not remember what I said.
Well, it doesn't matter. You shouldn't be talking to Dan's a multi-billionaire.
No, that's not true.
The government calls him for money.
I wish.
Right now, Joe Biden's on the phone right now trying to call him get a loan. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, he was on a couple months ago. Clemson Tom, he gave Clemson Tom an ass whooping. So he came back here. I appreciate you, Dan. I mean, it's an honor to talk to you. A lot of people don't get the opportunity to talk to you one-on-one because we're not ESPN, we're not at Fox Sports. But you come on here, you treat us with respect, and damn it, we respect you. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Dan Wolken.
All right, thanks, guys. Have a good night.
Thank you. You too.
You too.
All right.
So let's get to it. NFL, Dan got me all shaky and shit. The NFL division round preview. Let's talk about it.
Okay. We got some good games. What are we? What happened?
Is COVID messing both of our minds up?
I don't know what just happened. There's gonna be some good games.
That's it. That's all we're gonna say about it. It's gonna be some good games.
I think there's no. I'm gonna say a little more than that. There's gonna be some good games. I think the only game that's not gonna be that good is the Titans and the Bengals. Well, I don't know. I think that'll be a good game too.
So who's your picks?
You know what? I'm gonna go the Bengals over the Titans. I think the Packers will dominate the 49ers, unfortunately. And then on Sunday, give me the Chiefs and the Rams.
The Chiefs over the Rams?
Chiefs will win. The Chiefs will beat the Bills, and the Rams will beat the Bucks.
I was about to say, did something happen in the NFL that I was like, was I out for? How long was I out for? The Rams went to the AFC.
No, the Rams are not in the AFC.
Okay. I'll take the Chiefs over the Rams.
Chiefs are not playing the Rams.
I guess I kind of agree with almost all your picks. I'm gonna take the Titans though.
Okay, fair enough.
So with that said, ladies and gentlemen, this is gonna be a short show because I'm still weak and Clark's still covered. He just now got COVID, so he's about to take an ass whooping, and he don't even understand what the ass. But you said this is your second time having it.
Yeah, this is my second time having it in total. So.
Yeah, this is my very first time, and it whooped my ass. And I'm talking about, I feel like I've been to the gym for 8 hours straight, and I can barely move my arms, I can barely move my legs. It took an ass whooping, but you know what? Yeah, I made it through it. I'm happy. It didn't kill me. And I'm going to tell y'all this, man. Stay safe. I don't care what your political status is. I don't care what you believe what this virus is. Just know that you need to stay safe. Do whatever you need to do. Don't try to impress nobody. Do what you need to do to stay safe. I'm not going to tell you what to do and how to do it. Just do what you think is what you need to do to stay safe and keep it up. And if you haven't followed us on Twitter, follow us on Twitter. If you haven't follow us on Facebook, like us on Facebook. And Clacker, have you played Super Draft Pro yet?
I have not. I have tried, but I cannot. I have not. I need to get it. I need to try again.
Click on that damn link and go ahead and subscribe. And I'm telling you right now, I'm up $500. I mean, they're giving away money right now. Because it's so brand new. I think what it is, I think it's so brand new. Because I live in Alabama, I can't play the gambling games. So I only can play the non-gambling games. And so I played thank you, Spencer. Another great job from the audience. Spencer, we're gonna have to get you on, man. I know you spreading the word. I can't wait to meet Spencer in real life and just talk to him. Spencer, answer the question. Would you just tell us what state you live in? If you can just put in the comments what state you live in. We'll wait.
I'm
While we're
guessing he's gonna
waiting,
say Alabama.
roll tide. While we're waiting, so I get to let's see what state he lives in. Georgia. Go figure. Roll tide. Anyway, so I don't get to play the betting games, but I played the free games, and it's basically fantasy sports. It's fantasy sports. Whoever gets the most points wins. And I think since it's so brand new that you don't have a lot of people playing. So like fans, if you take what's that other place? The fantasy.
FanDuel.
Yeah,
Or
FanDuel.
DraftKings.
Oh, DraftKings. They're so big that you're playing against thousands of people. Here, you're only playing against maybe 30 or 40 people. And I mean, you win at $500, $600, $700, $1,000. I'm up 500. So right now is the chance to get into. Click on the link below and sign up as a player. You got a $5 subscription. You got a 15, 20, 30. I personally sign up for the $100 one because I like to play and I like to play all the games. But yeah, sign up. Of course, we get a little commission off that link. You know how it works on YouTube. It's not an advertise. We're not sponsored. We're partnered. So YouTube can't get none of our money. So with that said, Clacker, what you gonna do? Are you gonna work Thursday?
I will be back for my shows on Thursday, or for my show on Thursday. I'll be ready to go with bells on.
What we got going on, Bama Brigade?
We don't really know yet. We're still trying to find us a guest, and going to be talking some Alabama basketball. A good game tomorrow night against LSU. Probably talk some recruiting and some transfer portal decisions and all of that on Thursday. So y'all be sure to tune in. As will we just be Joe and I? Tyler will not be there on Thursday, so y'all be sure to tune in and listen to me and Joe ramble about Alabama sports, and we'll have us a really good guest for y'all to ask some questions to, and looking forward to hearing from y'all.
And that's a funny thing because we had a guest all the way from Florence, Alabama, the DJ, big Alabama sports guy. Unfortunately, he got COVID, so he's not feeling well. So I gotta find another guest, and that's just the way it is. So Sand Mountain, Alabama, where the hell is that?
North Alabama, Northwest Alabama.
Oh, okay. So he's over there by Florence.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. When you say North Alabama, I think Fort Payne. And quick story though, before we leave, you consider me you make comments about me being as intelligent as a fourth grader. I've seen the comments. So as you know, I'm a private investigator, and I was doing a case in Fort Payne, Alabama. First time I ever been to Fort Payne, Alabama. And I don't know much about, and let's just say, I'll go ahead and give it out. I don't know much about country music. I know a little bit about it a little bit. Okay. So I'm on the interstate and I'm seeing my exit, and I see Alabama Museum, turn left. And I'm thinking, well, roll down Tide. They got an Alabama football museum here. For some reason, it clicked that it was an Alabama museum. It could have been Alabama State Museum, like a museum just for the state of Alabama. It could have been any type of anything Alabama, but for some reason, it clicked in my head that it was going to be an Alabama football museum. I don't know why. And it just happened. So anyway, I drive up to Rainsville to my Super 8 hotel because that's where I stayed at every time I went to. So anyway, I go down the hill because you had to, in Fort Payne, you can't, in Rainsville, you can't buy beer in Rainsville. You got to go down the mountain to Fort Payne where you can buy beer. You can take it back to Rainsville. Anyway, I was like, man, I got to check out this Alabama museum. And I was like, oh, I want to see pictures of Bear Bryant. So I pulled in, and all of a sudden I see the country music band Alabama. I was like, what the fuck? Kind of find out the group Alabama is from Fort Payne, which they still live there, which I've seen some of the members walking around there. Yeah. And, of course, everybody in Fort Payne knows each other. So they're all related to the country music band somehow. And anyway, yeah, that was my first to many adventures in Fort Payne, Alabama, where I went to Alabama Museum thinking that I was going to see an Alabama Football Museum. I went in there and bought my mom a T-shirt because she liked Alabama.
I'm not even going to comment on that. Joey, you're frozen, just letting you know. So if y'all are unable to hear Joey, I don't know if y'all cannot hear Joey or if it's just me. We will see y'all on Thursday night.